Hey there, my huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Frostlands, Episode 11, Midnight Pottery. Let's grind the borax. I think it's what, 20 borax for a borax wash? Can you reuse the tannins? So when you process hides, depending on how many hides you add to the barrel, it will use up a certain amount. So if I fill the barrel halfway with hides, I will have half the tannin left when it's done. So you can reuse it, but it will use up some of it. So like the 50 liters of tannins I have, I might go down to like 30 or 20, depending on how many hides I put in to process. And you can move the remaining tannins around with like a bucket if you want. Banlish, thank you for the raid, dude. Welcome. Let me give you a shout out in just a second. I'm holding my right mouse button right now, so my hands aren't free. But thanks, man. Always a pleasure to have you and your crew over here, as we have so much channel overlap. What were you playing today? Yeah, I was milling away, exactly. You were playing Astronauts? Oh, cool. How was the space salvage life treating you? That game, if you're wondering, chat, is kind of like Firefly. Would that be fair? Where you're like a space pseudo... Well, I wouldn't say you're a pirate, per se, but more like a space salvager in the way that Firefly was. So, for you and your raiders, we are making our first leather. And leatherworking in Vintage Story is, and here's a little blurb about the game, but leather making in Vintage Story requires a borax wash, then a weak tannin wash, and then a strong tannin wash, and we're in the process of making strong tannin. You arrive at a funny time because, it's nighttime? It's like 9 p.m. and I'm like surrounded by enemies right now, so there's really not much I can do unless I want to make a break for it, which is what I'll probably end up doing. I think what I'm going to do is try to run to some more clay, so I can do more clay forming. Because I have a bunch of this granite stone that I can turn into cobblestone if I had clay to do it, and that would give me something to do tonight while I'm like stuck. Yeah, I'm like surrounded on all sides by enemies. But yeah, if I wanted to start the leather making process, I would just drop these raw hides into the barrels that I just made. So again, the leather making process, these raw hides go into barrels, and then you scrape the soak hides with a knife. So you guys wanted me to do a little bit more hunting before I start leather making, so I want to get some more hides before I start that process. So the current priority right now is get more clay. Pretty easy peasy. I've got a good shovel. Because what I'll probably end up doing with more clay is make more storage vessels, because the storage vessels have just been my go-to for storing stuff. Before I run out there, let's prep the torches correctly. Oh, there's even bow out there. Oh, good. I'll go out this door. One of the reasons they have a bunch of doors is I have multiple ways out of the base. Oh, I accidentally picked up my chisel again. Tossed that in the water. I'm honestly not far enough away from the enemies that they won't just chase me over here. So I'm just gonna quickly panic dig for clay. I don't need a ton of it. But I'd like to make some more storage vessels. I'd like to make some more bowls so I can make oil lamps. And then make some crock pots as well. Although I don't have a lot of fat in order to seal the crock pots, but if I'm hunting, that will change, hopefully. Well, like 2 minutes ago that you played this, and it was 3 years ago? Yeah, the game's changed a hell of a lot recently. Especially in the last few years. One of the biggest features in the current update is there's more monster types. So there are monsters that will shoot projectiles at you. There are monsters that like skitter around the ground much faster than drifters who were like pretty tame. So even at night, during non-temporal storms, outside, not exactly safe. You definitely got to be way more on your toes than ever before. Because you'll get shot at and you'll get chased. Other features of this current build, because I'm right now on the experimental build, there are rideable mounts. Yeah, so here's one of the projectiles that were shot at me. There's rideable mounts, and there are boats that you, like sailboats, not just like basic dinghy rafts. So there's a lot of really cool features added in. Okay. First thing I want to do with all this clay is get rid of... No, I'll keep the conglomerate rocks, and I'll make a bunch of granite. I wanted to put all of my little granite stones and use them productively, making cobblestone, which can be a useful building material. And that will free up a lot of my current space issues. So all of the chunks that I've got around the base, I'm just turning into cobblestone. And let's stack our cobblestones together. At some point, like, I'll go to the effort of doing some organization, because my chests there's no rhyme or reason as to what's going on in them. Alright. Let's get our molds together. And get a vertical rack. So this is what I'll be building. Vertical rack. So 3 boards, 4 sticks. And this will help to store the molds that we've got around the base in a more organized fashion. So I'm going to put my vertical mold here. Oh, I don't like it there. Maybe here. There. Because we also have a prospect pick. It's out there where the enemies are. But we also have a prospect pick mold and an axe mold that's in our pit kilns out there. So that frees some space up. And there's a lot of like quality of improvement things that I could do in this basic survival shack to make it nicer. That will come in time. Then with this excess clay, I was going to make some additional... I'll do 4 rock rocks. So rock rocks, the use of them is that certain foods like red meat will spoil pretty quickly. But one of the ways to prevent them from spoiling quickly is to cook a meal and then put the meal in the crock pot and seal the crock pot in a root cellar. And that meal cooked with red meat sealed in a root cellar will last a lot longer than the meat will alone. The other thing that you can do with red meat is salt it to make like meat jerky. I just don't have any salt, and the chances of me finding a halite dome is like pretty low. So I didn't want to go with that approach. If I end up finding salt, that'd be great though. But I think the chances of me finding salt is low enough that the crockpot method is way smarter. And you can also crockpot anything. Any meal. One of the really popular things to crockpot would be like jelly or fruit, because in the winter you don't get fruiting bushes or sources of fruit outside of honey. So preserving your fruits in crockpots allow them to keep way better for winter months. Yeah, there's a cacophony of monsters outside, yeah. That's why I'm inside doing clay, doing pottery. I'm smart enough to know that outside right now is death. And I don't want to die. Okay, so I got 4 raw crocs. Ready to go. And then I wanted some more storage vessels. So with the remainder of this clay, I'll make storage vessels. I'm just trying to use the nighttime wisely. So there is sleeping in the game, but you don't benefit from sleeping. In-game lore, you're not even human. You are a lower angel. So you aren't... So, like, the fact that you don't sleep, there's, like, already a lore reason for it. You are a seraph in-game. You are not a human. So, in being a seraph, you don't require sleep. There's no point in doing it unless you want to pass the time, which, given the food scarcity that I have, I might as well just make use of all potential hours when I can. Like, if there was literally nothing for me to do, sleeping is not a bad alternative, because sitting here staring at the sand doesn't get me anywhere. What time is it? 3 in the morning? 2:30 in the morning? Yeah. By the time I'm done with a few of these storage vessels, it'll be daybreak and I'll be able to go back outside. So there's multiple storages in the game. There is reed chests, which generally you get a lot of early game. I just didn't bother. I decided to go the storage vessel route, which requires more hay, peat, and sticks, but it comes with the benefit of being good to keep food in from spoiling. So the spoil timer for, like, my flax grain in these storage vessels is 7 years. 7 years is a long friggin' time. Even red meat is lasting for 5 days. And this isn't a root cellar, because I have windows on this thing. Ooh. You know what? Since I have an outer building, I might not want windows in here now. Let's fix that. Because one of the benefits is the spoil timer on my starter hut will be longer with no windows. I know I lost one of the pieces of ice, but whatever. The timer hasn't changed. Technically, root cellar is one that has fewer doors, so the fact that I have 2 doors on this building is a bit of a detriment, but whatever. This isn't supposed to be a root cellar, so I don't care. Okay, so we have 1 raw storage vessel. Let's get a second. In the morning, I am going to be hunting. That was the voted priority. hunting at nighttime is completely pointless. I'm not going to be able to find my prey, and I'm going to be hunted by monsters. So I'm just doing some pottery to pass the time. Oops. I have not heard any bees yet. No. I've been, I haven't actually been around forests too much. Mostly because forests are also where you get wolves, and I don't want to be eaten by wolves. But, I have been listening for bees, and I haven't heard anything but a peep. Unfortunately. Because I would love to start beekeeping. Because honey is great. But, no such luck yet. I wonder if I have enough clay for one more. I'll start one. It is 4 in the morning. Around 6 in the morning it'll piss off and I'll be able to go outside again. I'm hungry. Let's cook another meal. Wow, the noise out there is something. All right, I'm gonna cook the red meat because that's gonna spoil first. It's gonna be a red meat stew with mushrooms. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Oh, I don't have enough mushrooms. Is there another mushrooms and? No, I don't. I can't add the berries because that's not a valid recipe. As you can see. Oh, it is! Damn, okay. Mushrooms and berries. TIL. Cool. That looks not bad. Yeah, generally my strategy is to cook things that are going to spoil first. Things like flax grain will keep a long time. But I'm hungry enough that, like, I'll cook anything. Did I not catch it? And while it cooks, I'm just resetting my torches. I haven't been catching all of them. I don't really need torches in the farm. Like, no enemies are gonna spawn in the farm. But I do it anyway. If I did end up finding bees, I would probably start a berry farm. I would build a greenhouse specifically for berry bushes, and then put the bees in there with flowers and berries. But only after I started my own skep. But I'd be totally down to build a dedicated 9x9 farm for berries, or for bees rather. Because, and for those that don't know, your max HP is dependent upon the food that you eat. So eating fruit, vegetable, grain, protein, and dairy raises your HP, which certainly helps when you're going in dangerous places to have more health. By default, you have 15 hit points, so because I've fulfilled my fruit, vegetable, and grain needs, I have 22 hit points. Filling up my protein would give me more health. And the reason I'm mentioning that is honey counts as a fruit in the game, and in the winter, you usually run out of berries, unless you've planned ahead, which I, well, to be fair, haven't. So having bees would allow me to fill my fruit up a little bit, giving me more HP, even in the dead of winter. Alright, I ran out of clay, so that's as far as I'm going to get for now. Wow, there is a lot of drifters out there. This is why I have windows, because I can see where they are and avoid them. I'm gonna go Did I... I'll add one more peat. I don't think we need it, but... Alright, so that stew will be done. I'm gonna go get a little bit more clay. And for that, I think I need another shovel. My current one's about to break. I haven't heard a lot of, shivers or bowtorns out there. It's mostly just been drifters, which is good. So it's mostly just enemies that I can outrun. It is 6 in the morning, so actually it should be light enough that I won't need a torch. Yeah, as you can see, the drifters are they're gonna start to disperse because it's daytime. Yeah, that should be enough clay. Current priority. Fire the vessels and then hunt for leather. Sorry. Sometimes when you tab out of the game, when you tab back in, you're staring straight at the sky or straight at your feet. It's really disorienting. The game does not like being alt-tabbed. And, here's the axe mold. And the pro-pick mold. So I'll need one more pit kiln for the last vessel that I'm currently clay forming. And I'm almost done. One of the reasons doing this is I don't want a full inventory while I hunt, and my inventory, I don't have space to put things, really. So a huge driving reason for this the clay forming vessel isn't just to pass time at night. It's I literally I'm out of space. Actually, I don't want to put it there. Let's put it back here. It just needs to be a pit. Covered. If you don't cover it, weather events can put it out. So if you live in a desert where it never rains, maybe you don't need to cover it, but it's better safe than sorry, in my opinion. One way to save space is I'm only going to harvest as much grass as dry grass as I need, so that I have one more free slot in the base. So here's 4 spare dry grass. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm low on sticks though. But yeah, I'm making space here. Because I'm hunting, I don't really need a pick. Put the shovels away. I'll put the pro pick away. So spear, forks, knives. I'm trying to stack everything away. This granite rock I can put on somewhere easy to re-excavate, like there. That way if I want it again, I can just dig it out. What else can I do? I could put my bones in the quarn. I don't even have to grind them. I can just put them in there for later. There's 2 spots here. turnip seeds, and charcoal. Good. So my inventory is like mostly empty, which is handy. All right, let's fill in the protein. One of the advantages of having a big protein meal before I go hunting is more HP, right? Because I'm starting to fulfill my protein caloric needs. That was a hearty meal. So let's get some sticks for this, and then light it up. Not hunting just yet. I want to fire up the pit kiln first. So I have 4 pits. I'll need like 32 sticks. Something like that. I don't have shears yet, no. I'm very low on copper, so I chose not to get shears. Obviously, the correct tool for getting branches or sticks this way would be shears. I just have 42 nuggets of copper, good for 2 more tools left in the base. So I don't think... I think the manual labor of getting sticks the slow way is worth not using up the last of my copper. But shears is on the short list, for sure. So that this isn't as painful. For the pit kilns, yes. Peat replaces firewood, and in fact, things fire faster with peat. So peat is not only economical, it's advantageous. One of the big benefits of shears is if you want to plant more trees, shears will also give you a lot of tree seeds. So shears is really nice when you're trying to replant a forest. All right, a few more sticks. So if you're cutting down a tree, you will not get... And this is a weird mechanic. I don't know. I guess it's balancing or something. But you won't get nearly as many seeds as if you shear the tree first. So if you're trying to be an arborist or a forester, shears is the tool of choice. Of course, I put my shovels away, and now I need shovel again. I don't think I had enough peat stored in the base to fire up 4 pit kilns. It's very nice to set up your base around peat bogs and clay fields, because early game, you're going to need a lot of peat and a lot of clay. So not having to hoof it long distances for peat and clay is massively time-saving. So really good base locations would be somewhere around water, because until you have a bucket, you won't have the ability to farm very easily unless you have a source of water nearby. So being around water and then around peat and clay. And ideally somewhere like kind of flat at the start, because if you're in really hilly terrain, it's going to be annoying to traverse the terrain and difficult to spot enemies before it spots you. All right, that's done. Let's get our spears and go hunting. Given how much I miss, I hope this is enough spears. But, I spotted hogs by the trader to the south. Oop, some of the dry grass spread afire. I'm not worried. It will almost certainly go out before it burns anything important down. If I wanted to stop that, I would have dedicated pit kilns or dedicated pits for clay firing surrounded by packed dirt so that there was nothing for the fire to spread. But I didn't bother. There's a fox. Sorry, little one. Oof. I know. Life sucks. Give me your bushmeat. I probably want to just hunt hogs, though. I don't mind hunting the fox for the bushmeat, but, oh, yeah, there's a hog. The leather all has to be the same size when you, make your batches. Whoops. So, what I have so far is, medium leather. So I need more medium-sized leather from, like, hogs. Back here. Get back here, Porky. Oh, yeah. The peat on the soil doesn't burn. No. So there won't be, like, a crater when I get back to base. I'll put it this way. If I was worried about the fire, I would have put it out. But I was not worried about the fire, so I didn't bother. All right, let's see if I can get one more hog before I start the leather making. I think I have, what, 4 leather? 4 leather home? And chat, if you spot anything to kill, let me know. Try a little bit further to the south. The open hills, the open plains, makes hunting a lot easier, especially if it has low foliage. What's that? Is that a wolf? Or black bear? Whatever it is, it's not hunting worthy. There's one other thing. There's a new special type of leather in this version called sturdy leather, and sturdy leather can only be made with large or huge pieces of leather, and it has to be chromium tanned. So before, like, leather is leather, more or less. But now, if you want to make sturdy leather, you do have to hunt dangerous game for it. You can't make sturdy leather out of smaller pieces, so it has to be predators, essentially. I'm going to mark down these as chicken for later. Chicken won't give leather, and I don't have space for the poultry and the feathers and the meat, so I'll come back for that. Looks like it's slightly flatter plains to the east, so I'll head eastward. Yeah, the wolves I did have on the map marked would give medium pelts, and I could always, like, nerd pole hunt them. They're just a little bit more dangerous because I'm naked, so, like, 2 bites and I'm dead, and I'd prefer not to die. So if I can hunt things that don't hunt me so hard back... Oh, more copper. Ha-ha! Nice. And that copper is connected to a cave. It is medium quality. Sweet. What's What is that? Oh, that's a gear. Gear is, like, currency. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, they got a good lead on me. Oh, right over. These guys are way easier to just, like, sneak up on. Persistence hunting, not so much a thing. They just keep running top speed. So there's one there. And it stopped. I see my gear. I got it with the last hit. And I'll try to just keep track of it. Don't fall in that pit, dude. Oh, did it? Actually, falling in that pit might be helpful. Because I can always climb down and fetch it. No, it didn't fall. I don't think. It wasn't a pit. Alright, let's climb and try to figure out where it went. Sometimes when you chase animals, they will, like, panic and fall into holes and die. But they often don't yield very good resources because they count as crushed to death. So you kind of waste some having them die that way. Quite frankly, I don't know where it went. I don't see movement. It's probably somewhere in the brush that way, though. If they fall in a pit and they don't die on impact, that's nice. Oh yeah, there you are. That's nice, because then you can shoot it, and it counts as a shot kill, rather than a crush kill. You can also, terrain engineer better ways to kill deer or other game like that by, like, flushing them into traps. So building, like, fences where they get corralled. Or flushing them into pits. I'm just not going through the effort of doing that. But at some point it might make sense for me to... Oh god, that looked like it hit it in its head. Oh, come on, that last one was so close. That would have been a kill shot. At some point it might make sense for me to make a bunny trap pit. Which is another way to get meat. God, where do these go? They're so fast. I know you're wounded. It's too bad they don't slow down when they're wounded. Or, like, leave a blood trail or make it easier. What? That's a bunny. Southeast, you said? Now, one disadvantage of armor is once you wear armor, your accuracy ratings drop. So... Oh. Flint shovel and a flint axe. Guess I'll replace my axe. So once you... If your everyday wear is like bronze armor or something, it makes hunting harder. Tailored clothing, like linen gambesons and things like that, give you a little bit of armor, but does not negatively affect your accuracy. It just doesn't protect you from much beyond surface monsters. And I'll get into that later once we are armor making. That's kind of a long way off. All right, I'm gonna start moving again. One of the reasons I like hunting hogs more than deer or other things that just run from you is the things that fight back but aren't super dangerous are very easy to mortally wound. Oh, here we are. So that you can hunt them a little bit more easily. Because I'm losing daylight here. What the hell? I can't imagine they have too much health left because I've been sending spears at the same few over and over. The other thing is, like, once you have higher quality weapons that do a lot more damage on hit, you don't need to huck a bajillion spears at them. So if I had like a bronze spear, that's going to do considerably more damage than these flint ones. With that said, the amount of times I've had to hit these deer with spears is getting a little ridiculous. It's like, IRL... Oh, there you are. One good spear would do them in. He's very wounded, so he's fighting back. I haven't been instinctively pulling out my fox when they fight back. Because I just made it, and I'm not used to having it. Ah. There we go. Put up quite a fight, dude. And these are large pieces, so they're not the same form size as the boars anyway. But whatever, more red meat. I don't have a lot of daylight left, and I definitely burned. Yeah, I see the blue clay. I've already have blue clay marked down. I don't need more than that. There's a portal there, so like as soon as it's dark enough for them to spawn, this area is going to be not safe to stay around. So let me see if I can't spot that last deer that I'm sure I wounded the hell out of. Oh, then you get another portal. Current rate activity, very high. Yeah, you don't say. Alright, I think I'm turning in. I don't have it spotted. And I'm losing enough daylight. And I'm hungry enough and wounded enough that I should turn in. Oh, what was that? I thought something skittered past me a second ago. Haven't had a temporal storm yet, no. That might have something to do with the fact that, like, at the start of this series, I accelerated time from May to November, and I could have skipped, potentially, like, the first storm that hit because of the time acceleration. But I'm sure I'll get a storm at some point. There's no way of avoiding it. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Frostlands, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 14th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming stream. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.